Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
All right, a brand new drug today is a hoops game tonight. Welcome to the program on a Tuesday. Our Tuesdays are brought to you by our friends at the Nimnick family of dealerships. That's Nimnick Chevrolet. They're located on Cassett Avenue. Nimnick Buick GMC is located on Phillips Highway. Been buying my cars from Nimnick since 1982. Great friends of the family, and I greatly appreciate what they do for our city. They're the place to buy cars from. You know the name, Nimnick, and always a Nimnick Tuesday around here. Frangie and Carlyon La Selva with you. A lot of football talk, a lot of portal talk, some Jags talk coming up. But I'd be lying if I said I'm not pretty excited about a college basketball game tonight. I think this is it's not a house money game. That's the wrong phrase for this. But it's an opportunity against a blue blood who's probably not as good as you are. But the world doesn't end if you lose it. There will be some doubts about the validity of your 10-0 because you haven't played a great schedule. But I'm really looking forward to Florida and North Carolina tonight in Charlotte. It'll be a North Carolina home game, as it's supposed to be when you played in Charlotte. So it'll be like a road test. I'm pretty excited about this one tonight.
Oh, I think it's a gigantic game for Florida, and just any time Florida gets a chance to face North Carolina, I mean, that's one of the purest brands in all of college basketball. Florida's 2-4 lifetime against the Tar Heels. They haven't played them since 2014. North Carolina won that game. So, to me, this is one. Florida certainly has a good basketball program. But to me, this is still one of those logo games where how can you not be fired up when Florida, who is actually a 3.5-point favorite in this game, is getting a chance to face off against North Carolina. It's one thing to beat a good team. It's another thing when you beat North Carolina. It just gets everybody's attention, even if they're 6-4. So one thing that puzzles me about North Carolina's at least roster build this year is you look at their starting lineup and they are tiny. I mean, their tallest guy in their lineup is 6'8". And so I don't know how a team like that's constructed like that is going to match up against Florida, because I think Florida can draw even on pretty much anybody's guards. With Clayton and Martin and Richard, I think maybe there's some teams out there that might be slightly better, but you're not going to be light years better than Florida's group. So if you're not built to rebound and defend in the interior, and you're not, if your tallest guy in your starting lineup is 6'8", you're not. Then because the others, I mean, no, he's by far the tallest guy. I mean, it's basically 4 guards in this 6'8" kid. I just don't know. Florida is so talented in their front court. Now they're not asked to carry the load, but with Condon and Chinlelu and Hauk, Alexis, I just think it's going to be awfully difficult for North Carolina to keep Florida off the glass.
Yeah, and I don't know enough about North Carolina. Someone asked me today, you think Florida beats North Carolina tonight? I said, I'm going to say yes, only because they're favored and they're ranked very high and North Carolina's not. But the truth is, you really don't know that early in the year. I've not watched North Carolina one dribble, so I can't tell you anything about them. I've looked at their lineup, but I don't know. I just don't. But I will tell you, there is something to be said for the fact that you're playing North Carolina in Charlotte, North Carolina, and you're favored. There's something to be said. And the one thing I wonder about, Hick and I talked about this on the podcast today. This league is so good. Again, Florida's 7th in the AP poll, 7th. And they're the 5th highest SEC team. Think about that for a second. So 5 of the top 7 are from the SEC. And I get the impression that Auburn and Tennessee and Alabama are going to be way tougher than this game, right? I mean, that common sense tells you that.
Right.
The guys doing the polls can't be that far off. But I am interested in how this Florida physicality, this thick, physical, strong, defined cut, burly basketball players, a guard in Elijah Martin who looks like a football player, Ruben Chenyelu, who looks like a 6'10" football player, if there was such a thing. Mm-hmm. Alexis is playing better. He's got those broad shoulders.
Clayton has a football background.
And now he and Richard both sort of have football bodies. So I wonder about that thick physicality, which helps them rebound so well, and the other big guys, how that'll affect the game tonight.
Yeah, Florida is on the season rebounding margin is plus 10.3, which is obviously outstanding. North Carolina is plus 2.6.
Yeah.
So that would suggest that Florida is going to own the glass. And it's hard you can win despite that, but boy, it's hard. Your guards have to be light years ahead of the other teams. And that's where I come back to. I just don't think Florida's going to see 3 guards that are far better than the 3 they have.
My buddy Kevin Talley just texted me, diehard North Carolina fan. He told me North Carolina has trailed 4 times this year by 20 points. They've trailed by 20 points 4 times this season. How about that stat?
That is hard to believe.
Yeah, that is. And so, but we'll see. But the other part of it is Florida has not been a tested basketball team. They have not played. They've played some tournament teams. I think FSU is going to get in the tournament this year. I think it's the best team he's had in a while. I think Arizona State's a tournament team, but they haven't played good teams. So they haven't played exceptional teams. Let's put it that way. So we'll see. So it's going to be fun to watch. I'm really looking forward to watching it tonight, just to see where they measure up against a blue blood, even if it's a blue blood of years gone by. Again, they put Arizona State, I thought would be a real good test for them. Everything you read. By the way, did you watch that game?
Yeah.
I meant to get this yesterday. We talked about how good Florida was. Bobby Hurley. I mean,
psycho.
Well, he's a psycho. And Bulletin to SEC Network, who televised the game. The SEC Network televised SEC games or SEC teams. Did you notice that they never did an ISO of Golden until about 8 minutes left in the game?
Yeah.
They did. They had the camera
Hurley was
on
the
Hurley.
Star.
I mean, the whole time he was losing his mind.
It was a lot to show.
It was a weird look. Here, Bobby Hurley.
Bobby Hurley's losing his mind, and Florida had been called for more fouls than Arizona State.
So Bobby Hurley, in an age where everybody wears the quarter zip or the golf shirt now, has the shirt and tie on and docksiders, which is a fantastic look. JJ, you could pull that look off. JJ's a guy. You put JJ in a shirt and tie and docksiders, forget about it. So, JJ, did you see any of the game?
No.
Well, that was the look for Bobby Hurley.
Arizona State does have talent. I was impressed with their athleticism, and obviously Hurley's a good coach. But I mean, North Carolina is certainly more battle tested than Florida. But the other problem, most Florida teams playing North Carolina in Charlotte, you would worry kind of about what we're talking about. Right. You would worry about 75% of the fouls being called on Florida because it's North Carolina, they're playing in Charlotte, and that's just how college basketball works, a lot of the times. This Florida team, I don't know that they're going to be overly bothered by that. I mean, they're almost foul-proof in the sense that I don't know that you're going to see this team really have to change what they want to do because of foul trouble. Now, if you had 14 called in the first half, then at some point they're gonna have some there's gonna be a drop off. But I mean, between Condon, Chinlelu, Houck, and Alexis, you've got 20 fouls right there. I mean, those are good players. Right. I mean, if Condon gets 2 right out of the gate, it's disappointing, but it's not a killer for this team like it would be for previous Florida teams. I mean, they are so deep. And Aberdeen in the backcourt. I mean, with the guards, you'd probably be a little bit more, if you're Todd Golden, willing to let them play through it.
Right.
But if Clayton gets 2 and Golden wants to sit him, for a little bit longer, I think with Denzel Aberdeen, you feel good about that. So that's the other thing that's going to be really interesting in this game and throughout the season is Florida's going to have nights where the whistle kind of goes against them, but I don't know that it is going to wreck their game plan. It's really, to this point, I mean, what Todd Golden has built there from a roster standpoint, they are a complete team right now. If they stay healthy, there is not a lot that I would change about the Florida Gators.
Yeah, and I agree with that. So it's going to be fun to watch them tonight. We'll talk some college football as well. More players in the portal. Luke Kromenhoek headed to Mississippi State.
What a get from Mississippi State.
I totally agree with that. I really thought Luke is the guy that would hold out and land. I don't think he was headed to Alabama, Georgia, but I did think he was headed to bigger than Mississippi State. Auburn.
I wouldn't have dismissed that.
Right. I would have guessed Auburn.
Right.
I would have guessed an Auburn-sized program. I would not have guessed Mississippi State, which is, had some good years, but was miserable last year and lost their starting quarterback to LSU a minute ago or yesterday. So he'll be their quarterback.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about this, Luke Kromenhoek. So Florida's going to play him again.
Right.
The Florida plays Kromenhoek again. So
Florida can't escape any of these guys. It's like,
I guess they can.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we got a lot to talk about.
But again, Kromenhoek's probably got some scar tissue seeing the orange and blue after, being harassed like he was in the game in Tallahassee. I mean, he took so much punishment in that game. But yeah, he's a tough kid. I think he's going
to be really good.
I think it's a great get for Mississippi State. And again, it shows you where we are.
Yeah.
All these teams have money.
Right.
They've got to spend it. So you're not gonna see teams anymore that just have no chance.
Is Kentucky a tier above Mississippi State to you, or the same
tier?
Okay, then that's probably
Mississippi State just lost their quarterback to
LSU
right.
yesterday,
who has a way higher ceiling, I would say, than Kromenhoek.
Well, he's certainly he's super athletic. I like Kromenhoek, man. We'll see. Maybe I'm way off on this one. I think he's going to be good, but I would have thought a Kentucky, a South Carolina, an Auburn, and maybe it's recency bias. I see that Mississippi State's been so bad of late that I've got them dropped under that tier. At least for me, I do. But
Mississippi State, again, that's probably is much of a graveyard as it has been in its history. They've got an alumni base that can probably come up with the money needed to be competitive to get a starting quarterback. So, I mean, again, it just speaks to no one's going to have any depth in this sport anymore. And it's going to be very much like the NFL, which is you have your starters, and once you go beyond your starters, you don't have a lot of talent there. And if you do, you're very fortunate and very good at what you do. But at the college level, I just don't think you're going to see that. And because all these schools now, even the ones that haven't historically been good, can throw millions at players.
Yeah. So we'll talk all about the portal and other things coming up. But when we come back, I want to start with the Jags. I got a Jag topic that I think will be fun. And I'm going to throw some questions at you. You ready for some questions? Can you handle questions? I'm going to give you some players to assess.
Love
like assessing players. You could be a scout, couldn't you? I could see you running around. I could see you showing up at Jacksonville State because you want to watch the left guard who you think might be a sixth rounder. Is your left guard over there, Jackson? I think he's a sixth rounder. Can I talk to him? I can so see you doing that.
I love any
see you
job
interviewing him
where I can pound my fist on the table.
Yeah,
if I have it, and as a scout, you get to do that.
Yeah, and you get
to pound your fist on the table and say, "We've got to take this guy."
And I've heard the guy you love is the left guard from Jacksonville State. He's the guy.
He's agile.
That's the region I would give you. I would give you if I was like the general
manager.
Why
I like him? He shows up 15 minutes early to his history class because he's really intrigued by the history of Western Europe. And so he gets there early to get some extra tutoring from the professor.
You turned that in,
and that to me speaks to somebody who's a perfectionist.
If I was the general manager and we just hired you as a scout, I'd say, I'm giving him the state of Alabama. Really? You're going to give him Alabama? No. Auburn? No. Troy, UAB? No, I'm giving him Jacksonville State. You would be our Jacksonville State
We'll find
scout.
players.
That's what you would do. Let's talk some Jaguar football when we come back. We got a lot of things to do. Thanks for joining us on a Nimnik Tuesday. Frangie, Carlyon, and LaSelva with you on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get ready to roar into the weekend. Get everything you need to know for your weekend on Pre-Game Friday.
It's a big deal.
Gosh, it sure is a big deal.
Brought to you by Dream Finders Homes.
Duval, baby.
On 1010XL.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hays Carlyon for MyBookie. Find your holiday season stride with MyBookie and take advantage of their live betting, especially if a heavy favorite gets off to a slow start. Check out their cool prop bets as well. If you haven't signed up, go to mybookie.ag and register for a free account. Use promo code 1010XL to get a double bonus. For a limited time, MyBookie will double your money on your first deposit. Let's take a look at some updated MyBookie lines. The Jaguars are now a 1-point favorite at the Las Vegas Raiders. The over-under is 40 points. The Texans are a 2-point road favorite versus Kansas City. The Ravens, a 6.5-point favorite at home against the Steelers. Sign up with that promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus. Again, it's a double bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Frank Frangie, and I've depended on South State for my banking needs as long as they've been serving Duval. Whether you're saving for retirement, purchasing a home, starting a business, your goals are their commitment. With forward-thinking, personalized banking solutions and best-in-class service, South State is ready to help you navigate your financial journey. Connect at southstatebank.com or drop by any of the 5 local South State offices. South State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We're H-A-P-P-Y, because happy Honda days are here. Everything is bigger. Bigger selection, bigger discounts, bigger trade-in values. Honda, quality, value, safety. Don't miss happy Honda days going on now at your local Honda dealer.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Ready to sharpen your aim or find the perfect firearm? Come to St. Nicholas Guns and Range. With a huge selection of guns, ammo, and accessories, plus Jacksonville's best indoor range for every skill level. They've got everything you need to hit your target. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, their friendly experts will guide you every step of the way at 4630 Blanding Boulevard or online at stnickguns.com. St. Nicholas Gun and Range. Gear up, shoot a lot, shoot better. It's the Gator Podcast Channel with Frank Frangie and me, Dan Hicken, on all things Gators. Hacker and Denny Thompson have Gator Bites, and you can find them wherever you find podcasts or at 1010XL.com. Presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Grab your lucky spot on the couch, because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light, easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024. Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Jingle bells, plumbing's gone astray. A burst pipe, no hot water clogged drain on Christmas Day. That's no holiday. Call Duck Duck Rooter. We're faster than Santa's sleigh.
904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
This season, check out our revamped website at southernsteerbutcher.com. Click on the Promotions tab, and our Jacksonville weekly grilling specials will hit you in the face like a hot route over the middle.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Jeremiah Ledbetter was an absolute force defensively for Jacksonville. The 6'3" defensive tackle produced 1 sack for the Teal and Black in what was a dominant showing. He had such a great performance that many flipped over how great it was. Jeremiah Ledbetter is your Superior Fence and Rail's defensive player of the game.
If you're tired of your fence looking like a bad hair day, well, it's time for a fence makeover with Superior Fence and Rail. They'll make your yard the talk of the town with a new fence installed by their expert team.
Your fence is fantastic.
My fence is giving all of my neighbors some serious pick and envy. Thanks, Superior Fence and Rail.
So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your fence installation project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Right now, buy one window or patio door and get one 40% off. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. The first 50 customers get a free True Screen upgrade, but this offer expires December 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on the Frangie Show. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941.
You know what I think? Carlyon La Selva.
What's that?
Jessica might be my favorite all-time song without words.
Yep.
JJ, that's free of charge. I'm going to give that to you, okay?
Thank you.
Favorite all-time song without words. I mean, how many songs you really like without words?
You know, it was funny. In the 80s, you would see, like, the Miami Vice theme.
Yeah.
Like, was an instrumental that did, like, really well on the charts.
Right.
But, yeah, you don't see very many.
Pink Floyd's got a lot.
Do they?
Yeah.
JJ's got a deeper knowledge of music than I do. I mean, you know, I'm not a good deep cut guy. So, but I like this. You know who else? This is their favorite song without music. My friend Jessica Blaylock has always told me that. Go figure.
How about that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And if there was a song without music called Frank, that would become my favorite. Yes, but I love Jessica. I love the Allman Brothers. Glad you're with us on the program. JJ La Selva is here. Hays Carlyon is here. You ready for this, Hays? I got a little Jaguar test for you.
All right.
It's not a test. It's a quiz, but it's not. It's a survey. I'm going to give you names of young players, and I want you to give me, keep it to 20 words.
Okay.
But a paragraph or so, or more than 20 words, of where they will be in their career next year, and then how they will be looked at when their career has ended. Does that make sense?
It does.
You ready?
Yep.
Jarian Jones.
He will get a second contract here and be a good, not great player.
Nickel, outside?
I'd say nickel.
You don't think he'll get outside? Okay. Tank Bigsby.
I don't think he makes it to a second contract here, but I do think he'll have 2 pretty good years to finish it out.
Okay.
And then he'll go on to have success somewhere else.
Yeah, I think Tank Bigsby will definitely make a second contract here. Jarian Jones, I'm 50-50 on it, but I think he's going to be a good player. I'd like to, he's got an edge to him. I'd like to see him outside. Brenton Strange.
Brenton Strange will have a second contract here and will be a 10-year Jaguar. He'll be a pretty good player.
I think so, too. I'm real interested to see what he will be if they let him get down the field some, and how, if they choose to do that. Again, their down the field tight end has been only Evan Ingram for the last few years. But now with these last 3 games, maybe one of the most interesting things to me in these last 3 games is, do you throw the ball downfield to Brenton Strange something? You're now confident throwing it to him. We caught the ball 11 times, but nothing really down the field. And Mac Jones isn't a great down the field thrower, so but interesting for me. Monteric Brown.
I think he'll be gone in a year.
Okay. Backup, not even a backup. Will he be a backup in the league?
Somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't think we'd hear much of him once he's gone from there.
I think there's something there. The league is full of cornerbacks. I mean, every team's got a ton of them because there's some defenses where you play 6 at a time. I mean, I don't think he's going to be a great player, but I think they've been better with him playing than they were with Ronald Darby playing. Now, I'm not comparing Ronald Darby to Prime, okay? But, I mean, I think they've been better with him. When they made that full change, I think that made their team better. Walker Little.
I think he'll be adequate, but not a star.
Will he be their left tackle?
I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say keep your eye on Anton Harrison to left tackle and Walker Little to right tackle moving forward.
Then why wouldn't they do that now?
Because they haven't practiced it. There's reps, there's practice, there's plays.
Yeah.
They are different. The responsibilities are different. Neither of those guys have spent a lot of time. Now, Walker Little's practiced a little on the right side because he was a swing tackle. But neither of those players, I wouldn't change them when they haven't repped that. But I may be wrong, but I would say keep an eye. I would keep an eye on once the season's over and you can start over. I would keep an eye on that. Parker Washington.
I think not. I mean, I think probably leaves as a free agent or gets released and maybe gets a cup of coffee somewhere else.
Just a guy, okay?
Yeah.
See, again, I think he'll be in the league a long time. Won't be a star, but I think he'll be in the league a long time. Ventrell Miller.
I'll say Ventrell Miller. What's this? His second year here. I'll say does not get a second contract here, but plays for a few years beyond the Jaguars somewhere else.
I think he's a star. He's the first one I've mentioned today that I think is a star. I think now you got to stay on the field, Ventrell, and so. But I think of the Jarian Jones, Tank Bigsby, Brenton Strange, Walker Little, Parker Washington, Ventrell Miller. Of the 6 guys I just read off, I think he's the best player of the group. Mason Smith.
I actually like Mason. I think Mason will be a good player here. So I'll say it's so early to talk about second
you don't have to
contracts.
talk about contracts.
I think Mason Smith will be a good player here.
I do too. I think he'll be a pretty good player here.
And so, I mean, obviously, I think he's going to get a second contract. But I mean, we're early.
Yeah, and I'm not
he still has 3 more years.
And I'm not as much in the contract as is he going to be pretty good? That's kind of where I'm going with all this. Anton Harrison.
I mean, I think he's going to be here another 6-7 years. At a minimum. I think he's he's had some inconsistency this year, but I think overall you have to be pleased with Anton Harrison's first year and 3 quarters here. So I think he projects as a starter here for a long while.
Antonio Johnson.
I think gets released, goes somewhere else.
Jordan Jefferson.
Gets released, goes somewhere else.
All right, I went through 11 guys, 11 young players, all right, most of whom were drafted by the Jaguars. Monteric Brown was not drafted, but for the most part, I went through a bunch of guys that the Jags have drafted somewhere along the line.
I think Brown was drafted.
Oh, he was. That's right. Yeah. He was a free agent. So they've all been drafted. All right, so I'm going to go through my take on all these. And that's 11 guys that are young that have factored. We spent a whole day yesterday talking about Brian Thomas Jr. We don't need to talk about him. We've talked about guys who've been here longer, okay?
I think Brian Thomas Jr. will get a second contract here.
See, I'm not sure. That's the one I'm not sure about, okay? I would think if you I may consider a move to corner to make you more productive. No, so we all know how great Brian Thomas Jr. is. We all think he's going to be a superstar. I'm going to go through this list that I asked you. I think Jarian Jones might be a good player. I don't know star. I think he might play outside. I think he's tough. I think he's physical. I think he's got an edge to him. I don't know if he runs well enough to run with the star players, but that might be the only thing missing. I think there's I like him a lot. I like him. I think he's going to be a very, very good player. Tank Bigsby, I think, will be here for a second contract. I think he'll be a good downhill runner. I don't know that he's ever going to be a great runner. I don't know that he's going to be a great back, but in what today's NFL is, physical running back, I think he's going to be very good. Brenton Strange, I don't know what he'll be down the field. I think if he's good down the field, he could. But I can't tell you what I've seen now. Everything you see about the guy's hard not to love him. He's physical. He loves to block. He loves to hit people. He's got great hands. He catches everything. He's tough after the catch. But because they haven't sent him vertically, Hays, I don't know. I mean, this is one. I'm trying with every guy on this list. I'm trying to picture what I've seen them do, even in practice. I haven't seen 85. In camp, we get to go to the whole practice. I haven't seen 85 down the field very much. Monteric Brown, I think, is a fun little backup player. I don't think he's going to be a star. I have way higher hopes for Jarian Jones than I do Monteric. But Monteric has stepped in there, stuck his nose in there. I think Walker Little's a right tackle, not a left tackle. And I think he'll be one. I think Anton Harrison's a left tackle, not a right. And I think Anton Harrison might be really good, by the way. I think Anton Harrison, when he gets on the left side, when he's protecting a quarterback's back, when he's been in the league now a third year, I think he might be the best guy in this group, okay? I think Ventrell Miller's a really good player. And by the way, I just said it about Anton Harrison, too, who went to Oklahoma, so it's not because Ventrell went to Florida. I just think there's an explosiveness. He's got to learn how to play. He still gets lost in coverage sometimes. It's not – the NFL's complicated. We say it's easy. Well, it's not. And you got to learn coverage. So I think he's going to be a really good player. I have really high hopes for Mason Smith. I haven't seen enough. I'm just going to trust what my LSU friends have told me about him, the physicality. I think Parker Washington could be a really good player on a team with 2 good outside players. I think he's a guy that could work the middle of the field, a lesser version today, lesser than Christian Kirk. Antonio Johnson, I worry about. I think there's too many missed assignments. I think there's a reason he dropped to 5th in the draft when a year earlier he would have been projected as a second rounder. Jordan Jefferson, I haven't seen enough. He was very good at LSU last year. I think he may be just a guy. So on this list of 11 that I gave you, the ones I'm most excited about, I really do think Anton Harrison's a left tackle and a very good one. I think Walker Little's going to be fine as a right tackle. I think they have their tackles. Again, I would flip them, but who knows if that'll happen. I think Ventrell Miller's a starting middle linebacker in the NFL. I think he's today's middle linebacker. There's not a lot of Fred Warners who are 250 and run. That guy's just not. You just can't. That's Brian Urlacher. You just can't find that guy. That's Ray Lewis. most guys that are big don't run, right? And there's not a lot of guys.
It's amazing that Warner ended up at BYU. No disrespect to them, but boy, does he look like somebody that should have been at Alabama or Michigan or USC.
Correct, because he's 250 and runs
it's like how did he fall through the cracks?
But you don't have those guys very often. At least I don't think you have those guys. At least for me, I don't think you have those guys very often. So, but I think Ventrell Miller's a good player. I think Ventrell Miller's a really good player. I really do. Of this group, I guess that's it. Mason Smith, I've got hopes for. Ventrell Miller, Anton Harrison is a left tackle. Ventrell Miller is a middle linebacker, not moved all around, is a Mike linebacker who will play downhill. I think it's going to be, and I'm really intrigued with Jarian Jones. I really, so of all that group, none of them excite you. Doesn't sound like of that 11.
No, I like Harrison.
Yeah,
I like Jarian. Yeah, I mean beyond. I think Walker Little is. I mean, we know he's going to be here because he just got an extension. The thing that I would say going down that list, and we'll see about like Mason Smith. I like Mason Smith, but it's certainly very early. Is like Jarian could play for the Ravens. Jarian Jones could play for the Steelers, and he'd fit in. Like he has that edge, and I don't think a lot of the guys on your list have that.
That's
a concern.
That is a number one, yes, and that's a great description of him and the kind of team he would play for. Great description. Ventrell Miller have it?
I don't think so. I think he's a good, fast player.
Yeah.
I don't know that I see enough edge yet. Doesn't mean it's not in there. And again, it's hard because he hasn't played maybe as much as we would like. But yeah, I need to see more there.
Yeah,
to say that about him.
Yeah, I do. I have a good feeling about him. So the point of the exercise, and none of these guys are their star. Okay, Anton Harrison might be, but other than Anton Harrison, none of these guys are their projected star players. I didn't even talk about Brian Thomas Jr. or Trevor Lawrence or Josh Hines Allen or Trayvon Walker or Tyson Campbell. That's 5 guys that they think are stars, and they better be stars because they got paid as stars. So my point is, I think there's something there. That's where I was going with all this.
I think there's something there as well.
I do.
And again, if you did this with most clubs and you said, we're going to exclude your 6 best players, your 6 highest paid players, and we're going to go through 11 guys that are basically on rookie contracts. Walker Little just got an extension, but basically he's still on a rookie contract. I would say if you feel good about 6 of the 11, you're doing pretty well. And so, yeah, that's what I keep coming back to. I don't think this is a rebuild. To me, it will be disappointing if whoever is making the decisions come February 1st, whenever that's solidified, it will be disappointing if the first comment is, well, we've really got to take this back down to the studs, and ownership has given me the power to do that, or his blessing to do that. I do not think this is have a fire sale, get a bunch of picks, start anew. I don't think that's necessary here. Yeah. I think you're close. I think the problems that the Jaguars have can absolutely be corrected this offseason, and they can absolutely be back in contention and what will probably be another mediocre year for the AFC South. I think they absolutely can be right back in contention next year. This is a retool. It is not a rebuild.
And you said it more succinctly than I did, but that's what I think too. So it'll be really. So I will allow myself, regardless of how this one winds up. Okay, whether this one winds up 3-14, whether this one winds up 6-11, or wherever they land. When this one's over, I'll feel better about. I won't feel as bad about where I think they're headed as I did about the way this one turned out.
The other thing, too, to keep in mind with a lot of the guys that you mentioned, as of now, they've got 10 draft picks coming in.
Correct.
I mean, that's how many picks they have scheduled for this coming draft. So Plus, you're going to have free agency. They're going to be somewhat active, even if it's, again, if it's a C-level free agent, that's going to be in competition with a lot of the guys on your list there. So, that's another thing is one good thing about moving forward is these guys are going to get pushed, as they should, and you hope that whoever is making the decisions wisely makes the right choices with that capital. That's significant draft capital. To have that many picks that you can bring in, they're going to be able to bring in a quality newcomer, at least from a prospect standpoint, pretty much in every room.
My biggest concern where I didn't go with any of this, other than Mason Smith, the interior of the two lines. I think I've said all along the interior of the two lines what concerned me the most. Shame on me for probably not throwing safety play in there earlier, because the safety play has allowed some really big ones over the top. But those are the areas. We'll take a break. I want to talk some portal. Portal's still a great word.
It is a great word.
Portal's still a great word. I'm annoyed with the word some, but it's still a great word. That's next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make, and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is, and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Hey guys, it's your boy E.T. here. Give yourself and your partner the gift of better love in this holiday season. Let's make it a little easier for you too. Get yourself some Blue Chew. They have chewable tablets with the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, and Staxin. You can Blue Chew all online too. They have licensed medical professionals to help you find the right prescription and strengths. You don't even have to go to the doctor's office or the pharmacy. And when they mail it to you, it comes right to your front door in a discreet package. Nobody but you will know what's inside. And did I mention they make it right here in the good old US of A? Blue Chew has a great offer for you this holiday season. How does free sound? Go to BlueChew.com, consult with a licensed medical provider, and get your first month for free. That's right, I said it, free. Turn that holiday stress into some holiday cheer. Visit BlueChew.com.
Tacos and sports go hand in hand, literally. You can watch sports with a taco in each hand, or with a taco in one hand and a surfboard in the other. Don here from Taco Lou. I love sports, and since you're listening to this station, you love sports as well. If you love sports and tacos, then Taco Lou is calling your name. We always have the game on here, where you can call in a to-go order to watch at home, or let us cater your next watch party. Catering for the holidays? No problem. Taco Lou in Jax Beach. Cheers to tacos, sports, holidays with the family, and tequila.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
1010XL celebrates high scorers.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes.
In class and on the court.
Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on the Frangie Show.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews speak for themselves, and I challenge any firm to compare results. We offer the resources of a large law firm and the customer service of a boutique practice. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account. With the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years, selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy-efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Brenton Strange stepped up big in place of Evan Ingram on Sunday. Strange has stepped up a handful of times this season due to injuries to Evan Ingram. The offensive staff has lots of confidence in the second-year player. And listen to Doug Peterson speak on the confidence he has in Strange to get the job done and talk about what he's done well.
You know, Brenton's been a bright spot for us, somebody who we've always, as a staff, really have had a lot of confidence in. And I think, too, for Brenton, it's just not a matter of getting that opportunity. And now he has it, obviously, under unfortunate circumstances.
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Frangie and Carlyon, LaSelva here. I do want to thank our friends from the Nimnick family of dealerships. Man, they do a terrific job. Holiday time's a great time to shop. More trucks on the ground at Nimnick Chevrolet than anywhere, particularly that Silverado. So get over to Nimnick if you want to. Man, oh man, they do a great job. Nimnick is the name to know. I promise you, I've been driving Nimnick automobiles, trucks, SUVs for the longest time. You'll love it if you do. Nimnick Chevrolet's on Cassett. Nimnick Buick GMC is on Phillips Highway. You can really trust the folks at Nimnick. I mean that very sincerely. The portal continues active. We talked about Luke Kromenhoek. I'm a little surprised that he landed at Mississippi State. Another Mississippi State, some bad school. I'm just surprised that's where he landed. Latest news from the Gators: Austin Barber says he's coming back. Good left tackle. That's one day after Jake Slaughter, the first team All-American AP center, is coming back. Najee Harris, the left guard, already was going to come back. Damian George, 2 days ago, the right guard, said he's coming back. They got to replace the right tackle, Crenshaw Dixon, with either Cameron Waits or Bryce Lovett or a bunch of guys. But they look like they're going to have a very good offensive line coming back next year. So a lot of good news in terms of retention for the Gators. Bad news is, and I haven't seen it, you said you saw it on here, that TJ Searcy is now in the portal.
Correct, according to 24/7 Sports, and I think other outlets, but I saw it there. I'm not sure who had it first, but yeah, TJ Searcy in the portal.
Yeah, so that surprises me. Although I heard all along he's a guy that could wind up there. I mean, I've been told, I was told a lot, and then I saw it too. So I've heard that he could wind up there. So here's my take on that. Florida had 6 defensive ends. Pyburn and Sapp started the games. Then the next wave was Gums and Searcy. Then the next wave was Cameron James and L.J. McCray. They had 6 of them that played together. They now have 4. I assume it was going to be hard to keep all 6 because how much money can you spend at that position, NIL dollars, A, and B, do you have guys like clearly Pyburn who get antsy, not wanting to be one of 6 guys in a rotation? So common sense says a couple are going to go elsewhere, whether it makes sense for them or not. But I'm still surprised. I was surprised Pyburn left. And once Pyburn left and there was no other information out, I didn't think Searcy would leave, even though you heard early he might.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Pyburn wasn't a diehard Gator, I could have seen him leaving because he does look like the kind of player that could get pushed out by an LJ McCray. So I think a lot of the surprise there was just how much we knew how much affection he had for the program. I think with Searcy, yeah, it's what you're saying. It's the typical. We hear this phrase a lot in the NFL, not so much in college football, but get used to it because college football is now the NFL. It's a pro enterprise, and in the NFL, we talk about it a lot when we're breaking down the 53. It's a numbers game. Same thing here. It's a numbers game. You're just not going to be able to have 6. Intriguing edge players. That's just very few teams, if any, are going to be able to satisfy that with what the salary that can be found elsewhere and the playing time. I mean, Florida's in fine shape. They have Tyreek Sapp, George Gums, Cameron James, L.J. McCray. They just signed a top 70 nationally product as well. So they've got Woods and Wiggins coming in as true freshmen. And look, you're going to go through spring, and if Billy Napier and whoever he hires to be his defensive coordinator, if they come out of spring drills either with an injury or if they feel like, hey, we need more, there's a whole other portal opportunity at the end of April and into May. So, I certainly don't think it's anything Florida fans should be panicked about. I mean, obviously, yeah, you'd like to keep everybody, but welcome to this world, where, look at the great teams in the NFL that have been good for 15 years. The Ravens, the Steelers, the Chiefs, the 49ers, they lose talent. I mean, it's just, there's only so many guys you can pay. And that is the world now that you're in college football. So I still think Florida's in good shape. I think it's been a huge win for Florida on 2 fronts. Caleb Banks staying at defensive tackle, they could not lose him. That was one where if you lost Banks, it gets, I think, really thin, like to the point where Florida would have had no choice but to overspend in the portal to fill that void. So keeping Banks was phenomenally important for Florida. And to be able to keep a first-team All-American center, to be able to keep a left tackle that in Austin Barber that's played well, that has that kind of experience, to be able to keep Damian George, who at right guard has found a home, to have 4 of your 5 starting offensive linemen coming back with DJ Lagway and Trey Wilson and Jaden Baugh, I mean, Florida could be, I don't know about if Billy Napier can build a frightening offense, because I still wonder about, the scheme and things like that. But from a talent standpoint, it's going to be hard to stop Florida. I mean, if that's what they're, that offensive line that's already doing some good things now gets a whole other offseason as they continue to gel together. They've got plenty of in-house solutions at right tackle. I mean, right now, Florida has 16 scholarship offensive linemen. That's outstanding. So again, and that could all change. I mean, they could go through spring and 4 offensive linemen could decide, hey, I'm obviously not going to play. I'm moving on. So that's what's so frustrating from a fan standpoint is really until they report for fall camp, you really don't know who's going to be on your roster. So, I mean, and we're only about, if this year's portal was a book, we're only about halfway through chapter 2 because you still have many more weeks to go here in this cycle. You're then going to have an entirely new window open up after spring practice. And if there's any coaching changes, then that school automatically opens up for 30 days. So, I mean, there's just still so much time left that I think Florida is in a great position because of the retention of the talented defensive tackle in Banks and getting those offensive linemen back. And that's what Florida has been missing, is being nasty in the trenches. And it looks like this upcoming Florida team could be the best that they've had on the offensive and defensive front in a decade.
Yeah, they've got to. You're right. They've retained a lot of guys. And I'll say this about the portal, and not just for Florida, but since Florida's the topic in terms of this portal stuff, they've done nothing in the portal yet. And so Hicken and I talked about this on the podcast. As you would imagine, Gator Twitter is kind of up in arms. Why does LSU have 7 new players and Florida doesn't have any? Why does this school and that school? Well, here's what I will say. If the past is your evidence, the evidence is proof that the one thing Napier is very good at is getting good players in the portal. I mean, Cam Jackson and Caleb Banks and George Gums and Ricky Pearsall and Elijah Badger and Chimray Dike and Osiris Torrance and Montrell Johnson. I mean, I could go on. If Graham Mertz. I mean
Bridges played well late in the year.
Trike Bridges. So if there's one thing you have to, in fairness to the guy, you can have a lot of things you don't like about Billy Napier. You can't say he doesn't have a good eye for portal guys because almost all the portal guys he's brought in have been pretty good players. I shouldn't say that. DJ Douglas wasn't a great player, but
everybody's going to have misses, though.
But a high percentage of the guys he's gone and gotten from other teams have really been a big part of this Florida turnaround. So logic remember now, Elijah Badger came in May. So logic tells you they're going to bring in 5 or 6 players that might not be first rounders because if you're a first rounder, you're not going somewhere else anyway. But they're going to go get some good players. Again, common sense says he's shown you that he can go get good players in the portal. So if you're one of the fans who are, why is everybody else getting all these players and we're not? I think logic says, history says that the evidence is he'll do that.
Well, and there's still the teams that are competing in the playoff that haven't even other than Penn State, losing their backup quarterback. You think that's the only kid that's entering the portal from the teams that are in the playoff? I mean, there's no chance. So the playoff is going to come and go, and then all those schools are going to deal with players deciding to move on. So, I mean, there's a whole other wave coming, and it could be a better wave in some instances than this current one. So I would say for Florida fans, I would say relax. I mean, you've got a good roster now. The retention was the key part. They were never, I mean, again, you have to look at it this way. Everyone on your roster is a free agent. In the NFL, if you've got like 15 guys that are free agents, that's a lot. You hope to keep 4, maybe 5 of them, depending.
That's right.
But in college football, everyone is a free agent. So retention is way more important than the guys that you're going to be bringing in that you really don't know about. And so, again, I think Florida's in fine shape. I wouldn't worry about the fact that, other than the Michigan punter, they haven't really brought anybody in of consequence. Right. Florida is going to bring in players in the portal.
And history has said that they're going to help. Again, that is, we've seen.
I mean,
that.
who's to say? I mean, what's going to happen with Indiana and SMU,
right.
and Boise State, and then the power school. What's Georgia's roster, and in Oregon's and Penn State's. I mean, in Ohio State. I mean, Texas, Clemson. You don't think those schools are going to lose kids in the portal after they're eliminated from the playoff? I mean, of course they are. So there's a whole other wave probably coming as well. So if you go ahead and if Billy Napier signs 10 guys in the portal this week, well, you're kind of stuff. You kind of have your roster. And so I think it's smart to survey it, let it play out a little bit. And, and again, you can even use that, to your point about Badger, use the post-spring portal to make a move or two as well.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get to some hoops. We'll get to some other stuff going on in the world of sports. Glad you're with us. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon, JJ LaSelva on a Nimnik Tuesday. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Have breakfast with 1010XL on game day.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's a game day buffet.
That smells good. What is that?
It's the Terminix Kickoff Show.
Presented by
Clearwater Irrigation and Gatorade 5 hours before kickoff on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Local 234 plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and thank you to all the members and contractors for their continued support and partnership. Together, they've helped build a stronger foundation for Jacksonville since 1901. Enjoy spending time with your friends and families this holiday season. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Local 234, make the right connection. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Have you heard? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are aiming to sell 1,000 vehicles this December. How? I've told my team to take all reasonable offers. We won't lose your business over price. With thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the ground, all priced to sell, we guarantee the most money for your trade and the easiest car buying experience ever. I promise we ain't leaving nothing on the table. This is the absolute last weekend. Visit Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
I open the door and take you inside the locker room to get you closer to the field, the players and coaches you care about.
Get a look at Hays' blog on 1010XL.com.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reese Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen. Energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Right now, buy one window or patio door and get one 40% off. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. The first 50 customers get a free True Screen upgrade, but this offer expires December 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
This holiday season, send someone you love a beautiful arrangement from Kuhn Flowers. JJ here, and I know that when you order from Kuhn, you'll show them how much you care. Online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Go with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
I'm Julie Harrell. I grew up here in Jacksonville and have seen our city grow as well as the number of car crashes. If you need help after a crash, choose a law firm with an actual office here. Lawyers you can meet with face-to-face and who specialize in personal injury. At Harrell & Harrell, we've been here for nearly 40 years, developing relationships with local doctors, law enforcement, helping people just like you. If you've been injured in a crash, call Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Happy holidays, Googans. Santa Day here. It's the holiday season, and that means hopefully more off time with the fam. Need a solid gift idea for the spouse or a specific family member? Beaches Dermatology can ensure that your special someone gets a great gift that won't break the bank and won't go hidden in a drawer. Botox, skin treatments, you name it, they have it. Take care of that spouse of yours this holiday season with a gift from Beaches Dermatology. Call today or go online at beachesdermatology.com.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Tailgate special alert.
3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Visionaries, builders, and doers. Are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
My name's Jim. I'm 53 years old. There should be options in life, like ways to lose weight. Medications now feel like the only option. I mean, it sounds like a guarantee. I do have friends who have lost weight with them. I tried holding off. I did other diets, but I was miserable. I'd rather be fat and happy. The problem was I wasn't happy fat. I was about to start the meds, but then I heard of Awaken 180's GLP-1 program. Turned out it does the same thing as the meds without injecting myself for life. It absolutely worked. I dropped 45 pounds. I'm now in maintenance, and I feel better than my friends who are still on the meds. Listen, I barely know what GLP-1 is. What I do know is Awaken 180 worked for me, and I was far from miserable doing it.
Thanks, Jim. You all know our success with Awaken 180, and now with Awaken 180's GLP-1 Balance, you address the root causes of weight issues. Do it naturally, then keep it off. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Epic offers. Factory direct pricing on AC equipment from Epic Cool Heating and Air. Call 904-859-EPIC. Epic discounts for military, police, first responders, and 1010 listeners like you. Epic Cool Heating and Air. I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Florida State has made another new hire to the staff to try and improve, announcing they are hiring Herb Hand to be the team's next offensive line coach. Hand has spent lots of time around both Norvell and new offensive coordinator Gus Malzahn, as Malzahn and Hand were co-offensive coordinators together at Tulsa, where Norvell was the receivers coach. The offensive line was very disappointing position this year for the Noles. Here's Hand on his excitement to get to work.
Just super excited to get back with those guys. And, we're all cut out of the same cloth, if you will. We believe in the same things philosophically from an offensive perspective, as well as, philosophically when it comes to relationships with people. This is still about the people you do it with. And I know that that's ultra important to Coach Norvell, and it's ultra important to me.
It's 75 degrees at 5:02. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Do want to thank our friends from the Nimnick family dealership. Nimnick Chevrolet on Cats at Nimnick Buick GMC on sorry, Frangie and Carlyon and La Selva with you. Here's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm thinking? Want me to impart some wisdom on you?
Sure.
That's what I do.
I'm ready to learn.
Florida and Tulane play in the Gasparilla Bowl on Friday. Have you heard?
I have.
Yeah.
If only we had somewhere to watch.
Well, it's funny you should ask. What if we do a watch party? You like watch parties?
I do.
What if we said we're going to go to the brand new Strings, which, by the way, I went there last night to check it out.
Yeah.
It is fantastic.
I'm sure.
I mean,
I haven't seen it yet. I can't wait.
You knew it would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no doubt it was going to be fantastic. But I went, and I'm telling you, Hays, it is absolutely fantastic. And
is it similar in terms of layout to the one in Springfield?
Similar, not the same. Not the same.
Like when you walked in, though, did it have sort of the same vibe as the one in Springfield?
Same vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the same vibe. It's laid out a little differently. It's big and open, but it's fantastic. Our friend Scott Adib and his folks at Strings. It's on Penman Road at the beach. It is fantastic. So let me tell you what we're going to do. Brought to you by Karis Wealth Planning. Brad Ernst is a good dude, and he's been doing this for about 24 years. He's been helping people invest their money the right way. They're going to sponsor our remote at Strings.
That's great.
And it gets better, and because Brad's a giving dude, and so is Scott Adib, it's also going to be a bit of a walk-off charities fundraiser, a little one. So we're going to go live for a Gator watch party for the whole game. We'll be there. We'll be there. Obviously, the game starts at 3:30. We're on the air at 4. We'll be on from 4 to 6.
I'll be there at 11 a.m.
As you should. And we just invite people to come on by, see this beautiful new Strings location. Come by and say hello to us. Say hello to Scott Adib. Say hello to Brad Ernst from Karis Wealth, all those folks. And anybody that comes in while we're there and makes a donation to Walk Off. We don't need gear, by the way, and I'll explain that in a minute. But anybody that makes a donation to Walk Off, it doesn't matter how small it is, big, you get a beer. Scott Adib's gonna buy you a beer if you come make a donation. It can be $100, it can be $10, it can be $500, doesn't matter. But if you make a donation, come on by, or you can just come by and say hello. You're not obligated, by the way, to make any donations. You can just come watch the game with us at Strings. It's going to be packed. A lot of Gator fans in there. Won't that be fun?
It'll be
what
great.
a Friday afternoon.
Get to watch DJ Lagway.
Your
How about
guy.
that?
Yeah, that's right. And I heard he's going to play. So,
Yeah.
But we really do want to thank Brad and the folks from Karis. I want to thank Scott and the folks from Strings. We said, let's make this a fun, since the game's on while we're on.
Yeah.
Let's make it let's go have a watch party. We'll have some 1010XL giveaways. You're going to be it's Friday afternoon.
Right.
It's Friday afternoon of the holidays.
Yeah, before Christmas.
Right. You're
so-
going to be partying
Yeah.
anyway. Get your Christmas shopping
Right.
done in the morning. And I can't believe you started that early, but if you insist on getting that early start of your Christmas shopping, go get it done in the morning. Come hang out with us all day. And I'm going to stick around afterwards for a while. And again, because the game's not going to be over, we go off the air. So our show and the Gators, beautiful, new, wonderful sports bar Strings at Penman at the Beach, brought to you by Karis Wealth. Walk Off Charities will be there taking donations. What a fun Friday.
Absolutely.
So we
Can't wait.
We really do hope you'll come and hang out with us. I have been asked, I got to tell this story. I have been asked, Frank, do you need old equipment? Because for years and years, we have been collecting old equipment. There's a group called the Players Alliance. There's Marquise Grissom and a lot of former Major League players are part of it. And we've done clinics with them. Hays, they gave us $15,000 worth of equipment. They gave Walk-Off Charities. You can't fathom how many boxes of gear there is. I've never seen anything like it. We could start a sporting goods store. But it was so kind of them. And so,
That's great.
I mean, nice catcher's gear, gloves, bats, balls. I mean, you can't imagine. Batting helmets, $15,000. We have a bunch of different little storage operations. Everything's full. Everything's full. One of our jobs for our scout team who plays for us over the Christmas holidays is going to be to come in there and organize all of it. So it wasn't. I mean, it was really cool. And that was their way of saying we appreciate what you're doing for baseball players, baseball in the inner city. And so, but it's a really cool.
Do you guys have a clinic this week?
No, we've had two. We've had the last 2 weeks. We've had them.
Oh, wow.
2 weeks ago, we had one at Fort Family at the Bregan Baseball Complex. Last week, we had one at JP Small. We have a Friday off, so we don't have another one until January. So, but a really cool thing. So very excited about that. Hey, some basketball thoughts. First of all, the NBA. Did you see where the NBA is down? Viewing is down 48%.
I have not. That's staggering.
48%.
Is that what it is?
It's down 48%. I think from last year.
How is that possible?
Well, I wonder if they've gotten too gadgety. And listen, I'm not JJ. You talk a lot about how non-baseball people criticize what baseball does, right? And I'm probably being a non-basketball player, a non-basketball fan criticizing what the NBA does. So I'll probably fall into that category. But it's down 48%.
It's over the last 12 years.
Oh, it is. Okay, I'm sorry. So it's not over the last year. But it seems down now. So I apologize. So it's over the last 12. But I almost wonder if it's too gadgety. It's just, I still don't understand the in-season tournament. They've now, which is it over?
I have no idea.
Then they announced the All-Star game is going to be 4 different teams, and one of them's a G League team, and the tournament's got the funky.
They definitely are turning, there's way too much turnover on that format.
Yeah.
Just pick something.
Yeah, right. And in the tournament, they've got the goofy-looking courts with all the colors, and the uniforms now are. And look, you're trying to market. I get it. Everyone has alternate uniforms now. Every sport does. I get it. And you're trying to sell merchandise, and I understand that. But it just feels like to me, and I think the one thing that really is going on, and it's my take, and again, I don't pretend to be a diehard. It's a take from afar, and I don't know how you fix this. I don't know that there are any stars in the league that Common Joe is attaching himself to. There's still Steph and LeBron, and I think people still hang on to Steph and LeBron. There's still Durant. but I don't think there's some really good young players in the league. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see any stars who are going to be on all the Gatorade commercials. I don't see any recognizable players that the common person, even if you weren't a diehard NBA fan, would recognize. And I don't know how you fix that, but I get the sense that's where the association is.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. We talked about it with the NFL and how lucky the NFL was that when Peyton and Brady and Breeze and the Roethlisberger, Eli, those guys, aged out of the league, new stars came in like Mahomes and Lamar and Josh Allen and so the NFL really not only has it not missed a beat, it continues to get stronger because the superstars replenish themselves at the most important position, at the quarterback position. And it's a good point because it doesn't feel like I'm at best a casual NBA fan. I mean, you know me, I don't watch an NBA game until basically May. I would say from a distance, it seems like, again, LeBron, Steph Curry, Durant, you probably have an issue if those are still by far your biggest stars in your sport.
Correct.
When those guys are in their mid to late 30s now. And so it's not to say there's talent. And we've talked at times where it seemed like there was this great young crop of NBA talent but it feels like they're not, maybe hitting the accelerator as fast as you would want to see if the ratings are looking like that. And I also, RJ, we were talking to RJ Saunders about this before the show, and he brought up a good point too. I mean, just the way the game is played is completely different than what many of us sort of grew up watching. It's just now you come down the court, you shoot a three, they shoot a three. It's all right. It's what it all is.
Yeah, it's 5 out. It's almost 5 out, none in.
Football sort of has that problem with the spread because everyone runs the same thing now. But there's at least enough nuances to it, and you got 11 guys on the field, so there's more. You can be more creative than a sport where you got 5 guys on the court. But I do wonder if that's part of it until you get to the play. I mean, I still think the playoffs are going to do really well. But yeah, I think they do have a regular season problem because it's hard to get excited about those 82 games unless you just live and die the NBA. But that seems to be a very small part of the sports fan population.
And the other thing too is, and we've always known this was eventually going to bite the NBA. I mean, baseball's had this fight forever and it overcomes it. Is fewer and fewer people know any of the players until they get there. Now, baseball, you never know the baseball players till they get there. I mean, you knew Paul Skeens, but I mean, you never know the baseball players. The one advantage the NFL has over everybody is everybody knows their star players before they get there. That's why the draft is such a big deal. That's why, because college football, nobody gets to the NFL without college football first. Now, there's an exception because you'll bring in a rugby guy from Australia or whatever, but for the most part, nobody gets to the NFL without college football first. And a high percentage of the stars in the NFL were stars on the highest platform in college football, too. So you know them. You know them before they get there. So it's interesting. I'll be interesting. JJ, how much NBA do you watch this time of year?
I watch a lot.
You do?
But, there's so much. You guys are naming a few things, and it's all of those things, but it's so much more. The stars, you're right, they're so hateable. None of them are likable. You can't relate to any of them. Not like I can relate to Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, but they come across as decent guys. The NBA really leaned heavy into hip hop culture and dude, regular people don't relate to any of that. Walking down into the tunnel before the game, what are they wearing? They really leaned into Instagram, quick click Twitter videos and all this, and it's dude, no. Who are you even trying to kids aren't watching full-length games, so why are you even trying? Their ratings are terrible. They're on TNT and ESPN as their nationwide games. Well, guess what? The people that you want to watch don't even have TNT. Who the hell has cable anymore? And the way the game is played, like you said, is three-pointer after three-pointer. Then they got so political and it turned off so many people. Adam Silver's destroyed the league. And then the NBA Cup, I mean, it's a dumb idea, but it's just trying to get the regular season going. And here's the number one thing for me, who watches the NBA almost every night, is you'll turn on a game and realize 60 seconds in, oh, blankety blank's not playing. I'll turn it off. The players never play. The stars, the important players never play in the regular season. They'll take games off for nothing. And it turns everybody so much wrong with the NBA. I'm shocked that it's even when I saw the media deal that just happened, I was shocked that they got that much money from it. I guess because live sports are still so important. But yeah, they lost the plot with the regular Joe a long time ago.
And maybe now you're seeing the effects of that more than ever, because those are all very good points. So we'll see. Let's take a break. Hays has headlines on the other side. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
They may not make a lot of plays.
Good snap. Good hold.
But sometimes they make the most important play.
One of the best kickers in the league year in and year out.
Listen for the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game on 1010XL.
At Hodges Mazda, they are proud of their solid reputation in the Jacksonville community. Lauren Brooks here as your hometown Mazda dealer. Their high customer service standards and their huge inventory of new and used cars provide their customers a consistently first-rate car buying experience. Their professional non-commissioned sales team puts your best interest first without exception. And all new car purchases include the Hodges Mazda Protection Plan. Visit Hodges Mazda online at HodgesMazda.com or stop in today during Mazda's A Season to Move You event and discover the Hodges Mazda difference.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
How many points are there on the Statue of Liberty? The answer coming up.
If you haven't stayed on top of your coverage responsibilities for your family's home, you really should review it annually. Renew with confidence or call us and let Southern Oak answer your questions. We'll save you money.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
There are 7 points on the crown of the Statue of Liberty, referencing all 7 continents.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
You don't think this would be a good moment to text somebody?
There's never a bad moment to share your opinion on the 1010XL text line. Designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Share your opinion
As soon as possible.
at 641-1010.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step up, use our promo code 1010XL, and that'll double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays, so why wait? There's a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click on the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now. Get your double deposit bonus with promo code 1010XL, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
It's the Jaguars' final home game of the 2024 regular season, and you don't want to miss it. Join us Sunday, December 29th for our fan appreciation game when the Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans.
It's going to go over on down, and the Jags are going to win the ball game.
To lock in your seats for this divisional matchup, head to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you there, Jags fans.
Sportsforecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At sportsforecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. Sportsforecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Prosser here for Lifetime Flooring. You've heard us rave about Lifetime Enclosures. Now let's talk about Lifetime Flooring. I can tell you firsthand, the product, services, best in Jacksonville. As you know, updating your floors is one of the most dramatic changes you can make to your home. Call the experts at Lifetime Flooring now and ask about their buy one room, get one room free promotion through Christmas. 0% financing, available to meet any budget. Visit their beautiful showroom just off Phillips Highway. And as always, tell them Prosser sent you.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about being a peacemaker. Friends, so often we can only want to help people who are in our inner circle. But God never had inner circles. The world was his inner circle, and he's depending on us to make a difference and to leave our mark in this life. So go out today receiving his peace and then sharing it with the world.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie, JJ LaSalva, Hays Carlyon. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're injured, that is absolutely who you need to call. Frank, we're going to start with Jags draft positioning because they are currently 6th, which could open up one of the two Michigan players, defensive tackle Mason Graham or cornerback Will Johnson. Do you have your eye yet on a player in the first round for the Jaguars?
No, I haven't even taken a peek. I haven't thought about it, dreamt about it, looked at it. I haven't thought one thing about the Jaguar draft. Not one thing. I haven't looked at a mock. I haven't looked at what players are out there. I haven't thought about it. The fact that you even asked me is going to affect the friendship. But I will tell you this.
I'm ready.
But I will tell you this.
I'm ready to turn a card in.
Hays, I do think they need big people. I know they need another corner. And I know Johnson's going to fall. A lot of people that have mocked them, I lied a little bit about not seeing mocks. I know a lot of people think Johnson's going to fall to where they will be, wherever they are. And I know you need a cover corner opposite Tyson Campbell. I get it. They need big people, bro. They need big people, and I'd be disappointed if there's not an awful lot of big people taken by the Jags.
Let's get it to the NFL. Monday Night Football last night. The Vikings beat the Bears 30-12 to improve to 12-2. Sam Darnold, what a story. They stay tied with Detroit atop the NFC North. Meanwhile, tough night for Caleb Williams and the Bears. So it's remarkable, though, what Minnesota has done.
And so I told you this the other day. It's the quietest 12-2 of all time. No one's out there talking about the Minnesota Vikings. No, I mean, the Lions are 12-2. The Eagles are 12-2. Obviously the Chiefs have had a great year. They're 13-1. But that's it. That's the only teams that are that good. And nobody's talking about them. Everyone's talking about the way the Eagles are playing now. You talk about the Chiefs all year long. The Lions are the upstart. Everyone's got them in the Super Bowl. Nobody's talking about the Minnesota Vikings, and they're 12-2. Hard to believe.
Yeah, the Vikings scored 30 last night despite a few penalties by left tackle Cam Robinson. He also got beat, gave up a couple tackles for a loss. But Minnesota able to easily get past Chicago. And the other game that was one of the worst that we've seen so far this season, a sloppy Falcons outfit outlast gritty but terrible Las Vegas Raiders 15-9. I tell you what, Jaguar special teams coordinator Heath Farwell should be excited for this coming matchup. The Raiders had 2 punts and a field goal blocked in this game. I mean, just miserable on special teams, but they did fight hard. And Kirk Cousins for Atlanta, he is lost.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about a guy losing. This is a Dale Murphy fall off the cliff skill set.
Yeah,
I mean, he is awful right now. If Atlanta had been playing anybody else last night other than maybe the Giants, they'd have lost the game. But they were playing a bad team in the Raiders and able to escape and get to 7-7.
Well, and here's the thing. They did draft Michael Penix Jr. They drafted him. He's clearly their future. But when you're 1 game back with 3 to play, can you go to the rookie when you do have the veteran, despite the fact that he's struggled in the last handful of games? I don't think you can. So, I mean, if they're 7-7. If they were 5-9 and out of it, you'd see Penix this week,
without a doubt.
But I don't think you can. I don't think you can now, despite the current struggles of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating to see what Raheem Morris ends up doing there, and maybe Cousins has an injury that hasn't been disclosed, but he just does not look like himself at all. Raiders coach Antonio Pierce says quarterback Aiden O'Connell is trending towards playing Sunday against the Jaguars. O'Connell missed last night's game with a bone bruise on his knee. Desmond Ridder was abysmal. So that's kind of tough news for the Jaguars. O'Connell, while not great, is at least a functional quarterback at this league, whereas Desmond Ridder really is not.
Yeah, and I don't think either guy's very good. I thought Gardner Minshew was better than both of them and was going to be their quarterback, would have continued to be their quarterback. So, yeah, the real struggles for the Raiders, no question.
The Titans appear to be on their way to benching quarterback Will Levis. That's according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Levis has thrown 12 touchdowns with 12 interceptions this season. It would be Mason Rudolph playing out the string, some meaningless games left for the Titans.
And watching him in person a couple weeks ago, you really can see things when you watch in person, Hays, because you can see who's open down the field. You can see things the television just doesn't show you. And it's been a tough go for Will Levis now. And I don't doubt that they won't give him another go somewhere along the line. But it's hard to argue that it's the right move now.
Yeah, I don't see any way around it. He's just playing so poorly. No more Jameis in Cleveland. The Browns are benching Jameis Winston for Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Again, a lost season for Cleveland, but Jameis Winston was at least fun, but a bunch of turnovers in the loss to the Chiefs. And Kevin Stefanski ready to see somebody else.
Well, he's 3-11. You're 3-11, and you got to figure out your future. Deshaun Watson's probably not your future, despite he's under contract. Jameis Winston kept the seat warm, but he's probably not your future. I don't know if the former UCLA quarterback is or not, but it's probably time to see whether he is. At 3-11, that move makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason Voorhees, Patrick Mahomes practices fully today because nothing can take him out. The Chiefs also had Hollywood Brown practicing in full today. He's been out since that preseason injury against the Jaguars. So Kansas City, all of a sudden, we thought we might see Carson Wentz. Looks like Patrick Mahomes is going to be fine with the ankle injury, and he's going to get speedy Hollywood Brown back.
Well, Patrick Mahomes is indestructible. I agree with you. And I'm glad you brought up the Hollywood Brown part too, Marquise Hollywood Brown, because I've been telling you this. The difference between a few of the past Chiefs teams and this one is the lack of explosiveness. He's quick now. He gets down the field and he's gone in a minute. So that's why they went and got Hollywood Brown. He'll change that team a little. He really will.
Absolutely. Let's get it to college football. Florida left tackle Austin Barber is returning to school. That means UF appears to be returning 4 starting offensive linemen.
Yeah, and Austin Barber, the former Trinity Christian player, is a good player. He's very athletic. He's more athletic than he is physical, but he's a good player. And I think the fact that he, Slaughter, and Damian George, 3 of the 5 starters, all announced they were coming back within the last 2 or 3 days. Najee Harris, the other starter, is a young player, so only replacing the right tackle. Listen, by all accounts, they lost a couple edge players that you hate to lose, but in all likelihood, they're going to have an awfully good nucleus before they even add a real portal guy. So, yeah, these are good times for Florida. They are.
Absolutely. You mentioned some attrition. Florida did lose edge TJ Searcy, who decided to enter the portal. He is the second edge player, joining Jack Pyburn, who has already announced his decision to attend LSU.
They have 6 players that were regularly in that rotation last year. We've talked about it. Pyburn and Sapp and Searcy and James and LJ McCray and George Gums. Well, a lot of them didn't want to be in a 6-man rotation. Now, that's not completely true because in nickel, they played 4 of the 6. But a lot of them wanted more playing time, more money, and TJ Searcy on his way out. I hate to see it. I thought I'd like to see all 6 of those guys back again, but 2 of them have decided to leave.
Speaking of the Gators, we will have a bowl game watch party on Friday at Strings at the Beaches, presented by Karis Wealth Management. Should be a lot of fun.
I'm really excited about it. Come out and watch it. We're going to be at Strings at the Beach. Karis Wealth is paid for the remote and inviting you to come join them and join us. And Walk-Off Charities is going to be out there. Anybody that makes a donation, any donation, you're getting a free beer, compliments of our friends at Strings. So let's watch the Gators together. Let's hang out at that beautiful new Strings. We thank our friends from Karis Wealth. Donate a little to Walk-Off. And by the way, you don't have to donate anything. You can just come watch the game if you want. But we can't wait to watch the game with you. I get to watch the game with the peeps. I don't get to do that very often. So come hang out and watch the Gators with us on Friday.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Former Florida State quarterback Luke Krummenhoek has decided to commit to Mississippi State to continue his football career.
I think he's really good. We'll see if I'm right or not. I think he's a really good player. I think he's got all the tools. He's just got to develop. I saw him somewhere bigger. I saw him more as a Texas A&M Auburn type player more than I saw him as a Mississippi State tier. I expected, and again, that's no knock on Mississippi State, but I'm surprised he's committed there this early. However much NIL money, I'll bet he got a bag.
Oh yeah,
I'll bet he did.
Absolutely, it's a great addition for Mississippi State. I think
it really
so.
is.
Yeah, I mean
that's a great. This was an Elite 11 guy.
Yeah,
this was one of the 11 best quarterbacks in America during his recruiting year. He and DJ Lagway roomed together at the Elite 11. This is a great find for Jeff Lebby. It really is.
Absolutely. We didn't get to this yesterday, but Notre Dame reached a 4-year extension with Coach Marcus Freeman, which secures him in South Bend for 6 more seasons. Freeman is 30-9 in his 3 years at Notre Dame and has the Fighting Irish hosting a playoff game against Indiana.
Really respected guy. The NFL's sniffing around a little. Have you seen that? Freeman's one of the few college guys where when the NFL sniffs around. Used to sniff around a lot of them. Not anymore. There's very few college guys of prominence that you hear might go to the NFL. You don't hear it about Dan Lanning or Kirby Smart or Dabo Swinney, do you? Ryan Day. You don't hear it anymore. He's the one college guy of prominence where you hear the NFL snooping around a little bit. So smart by Notre Dame to lock him down.
One coach stepping away, Wake Forest's Dave Clawson has had enough, and he is giving it up.
Yeah, interesting. He's a good coach. The slow mesh is driving me crazy, so I'm glad that's gone. But I think Dave Clawson's a good coach. He was a coach at Richmond, very successful as a head coach. Was an offensive coordinator at Tennessee, and now steps down as the coach at Wake Forest. Surprised me a little.
ESPN's Mark Schleybaugh has put out his way too early Heisman Trophy watch for next season, and yes, he has DJ Lagway among the 14 players listed.
What? And I've been meaning to ask you this. As his undeniable agent, what's your cut? 10%?
Oh, I get nothing. I do it pro bono.
You do?
I just like watching him play.
I know you do.
That's my reward.
I know it is. God bless you.
Let's get into college basketball. The 7th-ranked Gators play North Carolina tonight in Charlotte. Tip is at 7 p.m. UF is 10-0, while the Tar Heels are 6-4. The Gators are favored by 3.5 points.
Yeah, I got a hunch. Don't get too caught up in that 10-0 and 6-4. It's the University of North Carolina. It's a blue blood. Florida has not. Florida's had a wonderful start and has a very good team, but have not played a particularly robust schedule so far. I'd be surprised if that one's not very close very late.
Joe Lunardi has updated his bracketology. He has UF as a 3 seed and 13 SEC teams making the field.
13? Really?
Yeah.
13. And Lunardi.
How many are in the conference? 16?
Yeah, and Lunardi.
I will say, if you're the worst team in the SEC this year, you might be in for a rough couple of. I mean, you may see an 0-18 this year out of somebody.
That's the point. These really good SEC teams. One of them is going to take some hits, and so so Joe Lunardi has 13 SEC teams, and again, this isn't your neighbor Walt with a bracket. This is probably the most prominent bracket predictor of all time. and he's got 13 teams in. Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. UNF goes to UNC Asheville tonight. The Ospreys are 7-4, while UNC Asheville is 6-4.
This is a home and home. They've already played here, and this would be a good win. And what a great start for UNF. If they get to 8-4, 2 road wins against Power 4 teams, could be a special year for the Ospreys.
Let's get to Major League Baseball. Cody Bellinger traded to the Yankees. What do you guys think about that move?
The Yankees are all in, JJ. I listen, they didn't get Soto, but they got Devin Williams. They've needed a closer. I think Bellinger in that short porch is going to hit 1,000 home runs. I think he'll bounce back closer to the year he had 2 years ago. What do you think of the move?
And Max Fried. And apparently they're in on a couple other guys. Christian Walker's a great player. I just tweeted this out. I think just those 3 guys is a better haul than overpaying for Soto. I think Bellinger's going to end up with more homers in that short porch than Soto will this year. He's nowhere close to the player overall, but Bellinger's going to be good there. Just his swing is set up perfectly for that place. He's going to play center field. Judge can move back over to right. I think it's a perfect fit for the Yankees.
All right, and we will get you out on our musical note of the day. We are celebrating the best Christmas songs ever. And today we're going to honor Brenda Lee, who in 1958 released Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
This year I was born.
Oh, really?
I was really into this.
Yeah.
I was quite the musical infant. Didn't know if you knew that.
I always think about Home Alone.
I know, Home Alone's
great scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where he's dancing with like the Michael Jordan cutout.
Well done. We got 1 segment to go. We'll wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The college football playoffs set to begin this weekend with a game on Friday night and 3 games on Saturday in the opening round. The Georgia Bulldogs, who are a 2 seed after winning the SEC title game, are plus 130 to win the national championship. The Texas Longhorns, who will be hosting Clemson on Saturday in Austin, are plus 165. Oregon, the number 1 overall seed, at plus 175 to win the national title. Penn State will open up the postseason Saturday at home at Beaver Stadium against SMU, plus 200. Notre Dame will open up the playoffs on Friday at home against Indiana. They are plus 300 to win the national title. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Deck the halls with pipes a-leaking, fa-la-la-la-la-la-la. Oh no! Don't let plumbing ruin your season, fa-la-la-la-la-la-la. Let's go!
Uh-oh. Got a clog or a leak messing with your holiday cheer? Call Duck Duck Rooter. We're the reindeer of repairs. Fast, reliable, and ready to slay your plumbing problems.
Fa-la-la-la-la-la-la, hooray!
904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. We're flushing your worries away this holiday season.
It's holiday season and Nimnik Buick GMC is here for you. Whether you're making memories on the road or continuing family traditions right here in Jacksonville, you can always count on us because there's nobody but Nimnik. Now look, if you're looking for a better used car shopping experience, you'll find it at Nimnik Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. And with Car Bravo at Nimnik, you'll get transparent pricing, the best value for your trade, and peace of mind. Now is the time to shop certified used vehicles and buy with confidence. What kind of models are you getting? Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. That's right, all makes, all models. And trading in your old vehicle, don't forget who gives you top dollar for your trade. Nobody but Nimnik. So shop online at nimnikbuickgmc.com or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. It's holiday season and there's never a better time to buy from Nimnik. Who takes care of you? Nobody but Nimnik.
This is Hays Carlyon for Harold and Harold. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harold and Harold. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
This is Chelsea with Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Here's what people are saying about working with us.
Installers were professional, courteous, and efficient.
Great customer service. On time, explained the process, and walked me through the installation. Amazing team.
Our experience with Renewal by Anderson was outstanding from the beginning to end.
Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com.
License number CGC 1527613.
Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors.
Cannonball! Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a Dandy. And do it today.
What to get, friends, family, and loved ones this holiday? Prosper here, listen to the drill now through Christmas to win gifts from our holiday gift guide sponsors. Each winner eligible to win a grand prize of $1,000 in jewelry from Beard's Diamonds.
Hey folks, Dave Benyon here with Zero Res. At Zero Res, we love rugs. We will treat your fine Oriental rugs with the tender and loving care they deserve. Gerard, the Zero Res rug manager, is one of the few certified master rug cleaners in Florida. If you want your rugs cleaned with tender loving care, call Zero Res. Right now, get your rugs washed and we will give you 25% off. Zero Res, spell forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
My Gate Rewards members, now through January 2nd, you'll get an entry for your chance to win free gas for a year each time you buy 5 eligible Monster Club products. Not a rewards member? Download the Gate app today. See store for details.
Our most popular meat combo is ready to grill this season. Pounds and pounds of marinated steak tips and chicken, fresh ground beef, and homemade sausage. Just ask for the sampler combo.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Sitting at 3-11 and eliminated from playoff contention, Doug Peterson was asked if it's difficult to keep the team focused on winning when it seems they don't have much to play for at this point in the season.
It becomes a challenge, but I'll tell you, I haven't seen it yet, any sort of disconnect, and obviously that falls on my shoulders, right, to make sure that doesn't happen and just continue to lean on the guys, the leadership guys. And we got 3 games, we got 3 games left. You want to be able to go out and play well and win these 3 games and give yourself a chance each Sunday, but I haven't seen that yet, and that's positive for the guys in the locker.
The Jaguars get set to head out west to take on the Raiders this Sunday, who also have struggles of their own. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where have we been over the course of the program today? We talked about young Jags today. We gave a list of about 11 of the young Jaguar players and where they may end up and how much they'll help the Jags over the years. That was kind of fun. We talked about that a great deal today. Talked about the NBA being down a little bit, and it has been down. Ratings down over the last decade or so 48% what they can do and why they're down. We talked about the portal in college football and how the portal has affected college football and certainly the teams around here. Luke Kromenhoek, the former FSU quarterback, found a new home. We talked about that a great deal as well. So a lot of fun stuff on the program, and that's where we've been over the course of the show today. Hey, tip of the cap to my friend Steve Russell. Do you know Steve at all?
I don't, but yes, I'm glad that you're saying this. What a legacy, what a run.
Yeah, Steve Russell, after 26 years of hosting the midday show there. What's it called?
Sports Talk?
Sports Scene.
Sports Scene.
Sports Scene for 26 years. He took over from Larry Vittel. Larry did it for a bunch of years until 81, or started in 81, and then Steve took over like in 98. But many years of doing it. He did 26 years of it. He also was a professor, and Aaron Andrews and Laura Rutledge and an awful lot of really good broadcasters came through there. Christina Pink all came through Steve. Laura had a really nice note to him today saying she wouldn't be where she is without him. So Steve's a good guy. He's a really nice guy. He does a lot of – Steve and I have done Gator baseball together over the years. It's been a long time. But and I've worked together on pregame broadcasts with Steve many years ago. But he's a good guy, and he's been a teacher there, former high school baseball coach. Very similar to me. We went to Florida, thought about walking on. I tried to walk on. He didn't, but he had thought about it, and then became a high school baseball coach and then a broadcaster. But he's hanging it up after 26 years. Today, I think, is his last show. And congratulations to Steve. He said he's going to be around. He'll do some pregame shows and some podcasts and whatnot, but Sports Scene will be no more, at least Sports Scene with him. So tip of the cap to Steve Russell, good guy. And you'd like Steve if you got to know him.
Yeah.
He's a down-to-earth.
I've always respected his work from afar.
Yeah, he's a down-to-earth good guy, no question about it. A couple of things we did not get to. Did you see where Dan Orlovsky thinks there's a good chance Mike Vrabel becomes the next Ohio State coach? Now, we'll see if they run off Ryan Day or not, but have you seen this?
Yeah,
you don't buy it?
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I mean,
you don't
will
buy
say
that
that
they'll fire him or that.
Well,
I don't.
I didn't listen to the whole.
I don't buy. I haven't heard the clip.
Yeah.
But I saw it on. But I'll just say this. First off, and I'm surprised the number's this high. Ohio State's like a 7.5 point favorite over Tennessee.
Right.
Now I would take the Vols and the 7.5 and feel great about it.
Right.
But if Ohio State wins that game, and Vegas certainly thinks they're a solid favorite to do just that, I don't know how you can possibly fire him.
No,
I mean,
if he loses right after losing to the worst Michigan in a while, I could see them getting him out of
And
there.
by the way, here's what I think. Ryan Day's I'm with Hays. It's a hard guy to fire who's won as much as he has. But there is a time where people believe it got stale, and I'm not saying it has.
Right.
But if it has, I could certainly see Vrabel as the coach there. So there's two issues at play. Number one, is Ryan Day really on a hot seat? And number two, if he is, could you see Vrabel? I'm telling you, I would not be so – if this Belichick thing works at all, I would not be surprised to see some former coaches, NFL coaches, land in the college realm. We always used to talk about Del Rio as a potential college coach.
Yeah.
You know, how we'd fit the bill.
It's just tough, and I get Ohio State has money, and they spent probably more than any other program on this team. So money won't be an issue, but you have to keep in mind, like if you fire Ryan Day, you're basically giving your roster 30-day window to be poached by every other school. Right. You don't think Jeremiah Smith is going to get called and offered? I mean, he probably already
that's happened already.
But my point is, like,
no, I hear you.
I mean, to then go hire somebody who isn't really all that familiar with the college game and how I don't know. I mean,
I get it. It's a hard.
It would be hard for me to see that being the right move for Ohio State.
Yeah. So, but I'm a big Vrabel fan. I think Vrabel, wherever he lands,
I think
college,
I like Vrabel I'm in very high on the NFL carousel this year. I mean, I think Vrabel will get an NFL job.
I'd be very surprised if he doesn't land an NFL job.
Yeah, I would be as well. But I would be. It's funny. I thought you were going to talk about the Chicago trading for Kyle Shanahan thing.
Yeah. Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, which I don't think that's going to happen either. Because if you're San Francisco, why would you do that?
Yeah.
But, I get why the Bears would want Kyle Shanahan. But
sure, he's a good coach.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a good coach. One other thing, I wrote down a bunch of stuff we didn't get to. We got to Cody Bellinger. Did you see where Fox is talking to the Live Golf? There's a conversation between Live Golf and Fox. Because if it gets on Fox, that's the best chance it has to be real. Remember, it was on the CW. Nobody watched it because nobody watches the CW. But if it got on Fox, I still say they need to put long pants on. But because it looks like a bunch of guys at your neighborhood muni until they do. But
What if that's one of the stipulations?
I wonder.
It will push you on.
Yeah,
damn it, get rid of the shorts.
Put some pants because it looks like a bunch of guys at your neighborhood muni. I can't believe they would do that if they're trying to fight for real viewers. And it sounds silly, long pants versus short pants, but I'm telling you, a real golf fan turns on and sees a bunch of guys. I play in shorts, but you see a bunch of guys in shorts, you're not going to watch. And the fact there's no galleries either. It looks like they're out there by themselves.
The PGA versus Live sort of crossover 2-on-2 event is tonight.
Oh, it is.
Like, I remember when they announced it in the summer, and I was thinking, like, oh, that's cool, but it's smack dab in the middle of football season. No one's going to care about it when it happens, and that's exactly what's happening.
It's on tonight?
Yeah, it's on TNT. It's on in 10 minutes at 6 o'clock.
Who's playing?
It's Rory and Scotty versus DeChambeau and Bryce. Yeah.
It's tonight.
It is. It's in 10 minutes.
Did you know this?
I only knew that it had to be close because Bryson got not into it, but was sort of having some banter back and forth with Rory. Yeah. And because Rory, they were all kind of on the driving range and there was some, fan sponsors probably out around them. So there's a little crowd of people. And Roy was talking about, Bryson, who stole my U.S. Open from me.
Right.
And Bryson was like, well, dude, you kind of did that to yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Good point. I had no idea it was tonight.
It's also on HBO Max.
Yeah, I had no idea. Now, listen, you can't expect me to turn over from Entertainment Tonight and Wheel of Fortune to watch this, but I did not know. So interesting stuff.
The Live Golf and PGA, it's odd that they haven't done the merge yet and figured it out, and it does make you wonder if they're just going to operate independently of each other.
Lee Smith, who knows it so well, he made the best point of all when he was on. I can't wait until he starts in the new year. He's on with us every Thursday. But he made the best point of all. He said, look, the reality is once the PGA got the influx of cash that allowed them to compete, they didn't give a damn. I mean, the only way at least in my read of it is, the only reason the PGA Tour ever considered it is they were being outspent and they didn't think they could keep up. Well, all of a sudden, when they took on that influx of cash, the invested dollars that went in there, now they said, okay, now we have the same money you do, and we're still the tour and you're not. So the hell with you. That was my take, and good for them, by the way.
Absolutely.
I never wanted to see them merge.
I didn't either.
I'd like to see Live blow up and the players come back.
I would too.
But I never wanted to see this merge of this league, and so it'll be interesting to see where all that plays. All right, Gators. Did the Gators win tonight?
They do. Gators. I will say Gators by 8.
Florida versus North Carolina. Really going to be a fun game to watch. Remember, it'll feel like a road game. North Carolina playing in Charlotte. That'll do it for our program. Don't go anywhere. Rick Beluga's into the night. That comes up right now. We're out of here. For Hays and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.